Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very interesting story. And it's amusing and at the same time, just very bizarre. And it kind of gives you everything you need to know about the Democratic Party, and specifically a wonderful congressman named Eric Swalwell. So this is the Hill. Okay, this is the Hill. Mo Brooks accuses Swalwell attorney who served papers on his wife of trespassing. Alabama Representative Mo Brooks, who's a supporter of President Trump, a Trump ally, on Wednesday said his wife has sworn out an arrest warrant and accused a man who served him a lawsuit filed by fellow Representative Eric Swalwell of trespassing. So the security camera shows, and hit subscribe to this channel right now. We're almost at 182,000 subscribers. We're also going to be starting a membership pretty soon for the channel, and hopefully for H.A. Goodman's other channel. And I just spoke to my YouTube representative today. I'm always in a pristine and wonderful relationship with YouTube because all my segments are backed up by The Hill and other reputable publications. And you can just look at what's going on in the world today, read this article, and amuse yourself, because it's pretty awesome. Mo and Martha Brooks say this gentleman of Georgia illegally entered their home in Huntsville, Alabama, and accosted Martha Brooks on June 6th. They say the Swalwell team member stalked Martha Brooks and that he went into their home without their knowledge or permission. Mo Brooks also said he had home surveillance video as well, evidence as well. So if you watch the surveillance, you could see like the Eric Swalwell team member is like associate is so proud of himself and he's running towards Mo Brooks' wife, and you could just see like the whole thing. They wanted Democrats love to intimidate, and Republicans as well, but they love to, the establishment, whether it's left or right. That's the difference between Trump. Trump Republicans don't do this type of thing. They just don't. They just don't. But Democrats love the fact that they think they have media on their side, that all their indiscretions, and we'll get to Eric Swalwell and a suspected foreign operative, and his relationship, possible romantic relationship, I have no clue. Don't quote me. I have no clue. But it's been reported that he's had a somewhat of a campaign relationship, at least with a foreign operative that targeted Democrats, because Democrats are basically an open door to every foreign intelligence official on the planet, from Clinton's private servers with top secret intelligence running on, I think, Microsoft Windows 95 or something absurd like that for a couple months. It was unencrypted for 3 months, and then it had classified data, so you do the math on that. Anyway, then they had congressional servers that were private. I mean, it's nuts. They need servers to hide their information, which is why you would use servers outside the United States government. And people say, oh, Trump had private email. It's not about the private email. It's about the servers. Because even if you were on Gmail and you're at work, guess what? Your employer could actually see what you're doing still, because they run the servers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be this you don't need like immense knowledge in technology. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. Hit subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. You could read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, The Times of Israel, other publications, The Daily Caller on hagoodman.com. If you want to support my voice long-term, my Patreon is below. Mo and Martha Brooks say this gentleman illegally entered their home. They say the gentleman stalked Martha Brooks and then he went into their home without knowledge or permission. So that Swalwell wanted to, he thinks the best defense most likely is a good offense. So he really wanted to go and, you're going to serve them at their home because, Mo Brooks told people on January to do horrible things. Mo Brooks also said he has some surveillance video. Quote, Mo and I take our security very seriously, as do all our families. My hope is that my actions today will cause the process server to think twice before illegally invading the sanctity of someone else's home and put those who would threaten our security on notice. We will pursue illegal actions to the fullest extent of the law. So it's interesting that, they had grandkids there. It's like, why would you gleefully... You could see in the surveillance video, this man was so happy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to serve you these papers, because you were responsible for January. Meanwhile, you had Democratic politicians for months saying, get in people's faces. We have $1 to $2 billion in property damage in this country for a little over 4 months of mayhem and chaos on the streets of America. According to Wikipedia, over 25 people lost their lives. Is that the fault of specific Democratic congresswomen or congressmen who stated get in people's faces and other things? So you want to talk about rhetoric leading to catastrophe? Look no further than the Democratic Party. You're talking about hypocrites, okay? You're talking about people who are hypocrites and they're drunk with this kind of they think that they can get away with so much because they have media, but now media is reporting on this, so this is the Hill. An attorney for Swalwell said, no one entered or attempted to enter the Brooks home. The home is not just the house. The home is also the driveway and apparently the property. So they did enter the property. He served a lawsuit on Martha after entering the open garage door. So he did go into the home. So the allegation is completely untrue. An attorney for Swalwell said a process server lawfully served papers on Mo Brooks' wife, and as the federal rules allow. This was after her initial efforts to avoid service. You didn't have to serve them at their home. You could have simply found Mo Brooks in Congress, but they wanted to make it dramatic. Mo Brooks has no one but himself to blame for the fact this came to this. We asked him to waive service. We offered to meet him at a place of his choosing. Instead of working things out like a civilized person, he engaged in a juvenile game of Twitter trolling. They're trying to go after him in a court of law for something that he had nothing to do with. So, the Attorney General of D.C. and the Mayor of D.C. did not level charges at Mo Brooks or President Trump. That should tell you that any lawsuit from Swalwell, that's like Mo Brooks suing Swalwell for potentially giving classified data to an operative, which we'll get to in a second. So... Swalwell's team lies by maliciously accepting Swalwell's narrative without explaining the law that puts the burden on the plaintiff to serve the lawsuit papers, not the other way around, and without giving my printed rebuttal fair and balanced airtime in article space. So let's go ahead and let's look at this Axios article. So here's the interesting, really quickly, Alabama Today, this article will be below. Arrest warrant issued for Eric Swalwell, team member, for entering Mo Brooks' home illegally. So you can't simply run up to a person's wife and do this. But they think that this is this grandiose, ooh, we're gonna send, they get away with servers with top secret intel or possible relationships with foreign operatives and worse. But they're like, ooh, we're gonna get Mo Brooks because he said a lot of bad things that made people do horrible things. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. Here is an interesting article from Axios. Among the most significant targets of the foreign intelligence operative's efforts was Representative Swalwell. The foreign intelligence operative took part in fundraising activities for Swalwell's 2014 re-election campaign, according to Bay Area political operative and a current U.S. intelligence official. Swalwell's office was directly aware of these activities on its behalf. The same political operative who witnessed the foreign intelligence operative's fundraising on Swalwell's behalf found no evidence of illegal contributions. Well, of course, no. FEC records don't indicate the foreign intelligence operative made donations herself. The foreign intelligence operative helped place at least one intern in Swalwell's office. So, Representative Swalwell provided information about this person whom he met more than 8 years ago and whom he hasn't seen in nearly 6 years to the FBI. So they're like, the rebuttal is, well, he told the FBI everything. Yeah, but he's a Democrat, so the FBI is not going to go after any potential issues. Like Dianne Feinstein, Eric Swalwell, exclusive, suspected spy targeted California politicians. So a suspected intelligence operative developed extensive ties with local and national politicians, including Eric Swalwell, a U.S. congressman. Gee, now what could go wrong? Hit subscribe right now. See, they're going to go after Mo Brooks, but they certainly won't go after Democrats who are ensnared in a foreign intelligence operation, almost certainly. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.